We're in Times Square, where a small event is taking place. Some of you who may remember back in June 9th, the body of Dominique Alexander was found hanging in a park here in New York City. Also, he was one of 3 people around the country who had actually been found around the same time. This is about creating awareness.
Those of you just joined us, what we're going to do right now, and right after I finish talking, we are going to do a chant. You'll hear it basically a beginning announcement saying that we're asking everyone to listen up, and then we'll start the chant, how was he found? We'll say his name 3 times by the end of the chant, and then Angie will start her poem. When Angie starts her poem, feel free to start to hand out the flyers, have conversations with people. Like I said, we're looking for impulse. We're looking for people who understand and just didn't know. People just like us who really care and want other people to care too. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And then after she's done with the poem, you may stand around and see. Remember, just if you can spread out and pass out flyers too. And then once we'll gather, once we see that we've hit this area and the people that we're supposed to hear have heard, then we will walk down this way and potentially stop right there again and do it again. Yeah? All right. Thank you.
So again, as was mentioned, it is about creating awareness because a lot of people aren't aware. A lot of people who may have been aware, it may not be on their radar any longer, but it's still ongoing. There still hasn't been a resolution as to the investigation of his death. And like I said, it was one of 3 that happened within the same week, I believe it was, around the country, not just here in New York City. So it wasn't an isolated incident. And what they're doing out here is to create awareness, put it back on people's radar, that there needs to be some resolution.
Listen up, Midtown. We have something to say. A black man by the name of Dominique Alexander was found hanging from a tree June 9th, 2020 in Washington Heights. Right here in your city, a young man was found hanging from a tree. Police did nothing for the family. Justice has yet to be served. Listen up. How was he found?
Hanging from a tree.
When was he found?
June 9th, 2020.
Where was he found?
Park.
Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
Never thought I'd see strange fruit on a New York City tree. In 2020, black bodies still swing. Dominique Alexander, we lost you, Black King. An intelligent mind his killer didn't want to see. Cloisters Path on June 9th, he was found. His lifeless body hanging was taken down. And I frowned because it took 66 minutes for the men in blue to say he did it to himself. They chose to disregard the idea that it could have been someone else. I say chose because it would not have been the same for an Ivory body. Ivory would have gotten news, press, and I wouldn't have to be out here telling you all about it. Damo was 27 years old and a bright young man. Developed a movie app for all of his friends. Who knew his last trip to the Heights, he'd meet a killer with killer hands. And police looking past it as if killer was one of their own men. They down to do a presser when they was finding all of these nooses. But when a black body in place, they politicking and abuse it. Only an empty noose can make it to the news, man. Killer running loose. The lack of care give me the blues, man. You say Damo did it to himself. Why? This killer could look like you. We want truth and justice, not a comfortable excuse. Petitions are coming, so don't look so amused. They don't care, and that set off my fuse. Cause this is our backyard, ain't no time for a truce. White guilt is not in your job description. And if you act like it is, you'll be recorded and written. Dominique Alexander's story will not go unheard. I hope that you all listening will start to spread the word. Maybe even kill a man will hear from a little bird. He's out and free now, but justice will be served. Yeah. Say his name!
Dominique Alexander!
Say his name!
Dominique Alexander!
Say his name!
Dominique Alexander!
How was he found?
Hanging from a tree.
Where was he found?
North Tryon Park.
When was he found?
June 9th, 2020.
Say his name!
Dominique Alexander!
Say his name!
Dominique Alexander!
Midtown, a man was found hanging from a tree. He was an intelligent person. Humanity was not being seen. No one cared for his life, but we do, and that's why we're here. Join us before it's too late, before something like this happens again.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so we're gonna start moving. Obviously, this was a good trial run, I think, because everyone was able to hear the phone. And as we move, I just want to say, when you walk up to someone and try to pass them a flyer, sometimes people don't know, especially when they're in COVID. If you just say really quickly, someone was found hanging from a tree, it alerts that impulse we're looking for. Beyond that, if they're still dismissal, then they're not the ones we're looking for right now. Thank you. All right. So we're going to march this way. We're going to do the chant as we march. Ready?
Again, the action is about creating awareness.
How was he found?
Hanging from a tree.
Where was he found? On Tryon Park. When was he found?
June 9th, 2020.
Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
Midtown Manhattan. We are here to tell you about Dominique Alexander. He was a black man found hanging from a tree in Fort Tryon Park. If you hear me and you care, we're looking for you. How was he found?
Hanging from a tree.
Where was he found?
North Tryon Park.
When was he found?
June 9th, 2020.
Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
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 Right here. Midtown Manhattan, I have a story to tell, and I'm sorry if this is disturbing, but we need you to listen, because a black man by the name of Dominique Alexander was found hanging from a tree in Washington Heights. June 9th, 2020, a black man was found hanging from a tree in a New York City park. If this doesn't alarm you, I do not know what will. This is our city. Police did nothing for this man. In 66 minutes, they deemed it a suicide. Completely not cooperating with Dominique's family. Imagine your brother, your best friend, your uncle, found hanging from a tree. And people are trying to cover it up as a suicide. And the killer is still out here. thought I'd see strange fruit on a New York City tree. In 2020, black bodies still sweet. Dominique Alexander, we lost you, Black King. An intelligent mind his killer did not want to see. Cloister's path on June 9th, he was found. His lifeless body hanging was taken down. And I frowned because it took 66 minutes for the men in blue to say he did it to himself. They chose to disregard the idea that it could have been someone else. Damo was 27 years old and a bright young man. I say chose because it would not have been the same for an Ivory body. Ivory would have gotten news, press, and I wouldn't have to be out here telling you all about it. Damo was 27 years old and a bright young man. Developed a movie app for all of his friends. Who knew his last trip to the Heights, he meet a killer with killer hands. Police looking past it as if killer was one of their own men. They down to do a presser when they was finding all of these nooses. But when a black body in place, they start politicking and abusing. Only an empty noose can make it to the news, man. Killer still loose, the lack of care give me the blues, man. You say Damo did it to himself? Why? Cause Killer Man could look like you? We want truth and justice, not a comfortable excuse. They don't care and that set off my fuse. Cause this is our backyard. This ain't no time for a truce. Petitions coming, so do not look so amused. White guilt is not in your job description. And if you act like it is, you'll be recorded and written. Dominique Alexander's story will not go unheard. I hope that you all listening will start to spread the word. For all of you walking by, Dominique Alexander was a 27-year-old black man from Queens. He came to the Heights and he was found hanging from a tree. 34th precinct did absolutely nothing to find out what happened to this man. Do not wait until it's someone you know, till it's your son, till it's your cousin, till it's your father, till it's your sister. This man, or whoever did this Dominique, is still out here. Family still has no answer. How was he found? When was he found?
June 9, 2020.
Where was he found? Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
All right, we're going to gather, start to go again. Thank you all.
It's what it's about, having conversations with people, letting them know, creating awareness regarding this. Like they said, it isn't an isolated incident. And Alexander, or Dominique Alexander, and the others are just the ones we know about. So they're going to be making stops along the way, telling his story, the reading of the poem, just about how important this is. And like mentioned, there hasn't been any justice regarding this. nor has the person who perpetrated the murder been held accountable or found. And as far as I know concerning the other two, that hasn't been resolved as well. And for those of you who don't know, in the poem mentioning strange fruit, my all-time favorite, Billie Holiday, that's actually from a song she sung. So if you haven't listened to Billie Holiday's song Strange Fruit, you should. And she actually wrote that song because of the lynchings that took place at that time.
Thank you all. I know some people are walking away and not paying attention and all that stuff. That is all right. We are finding the ones who care. I already seen some of it, so. All right. Hello, Midtown Manhattan. I wanted to come here to tell you all about Dominique Alexander. Dominique Alexander was a 27-year-old black man found hanging from a tree in Fort Tryon Park. That's in Washington Heights. 27-year-old black man found hanging from a tree in Fort Tryon Park in Washington Heights. This is on June 9th, 2020, and after 66 minutes, the police deemed it a
York City. He was 27 years old. He did not deserve to die. The police did absolutely nothing for his family. And only after months of protesting have they even considered doing a full investigation. A black man was found hanging from a tree. Do not wait until it's your best friend, till it's your cousin, till it's your brother, till it's someone you care about and that you know, because it will happen. This person and people like him, whoever did it to Dominique, is still out here. Never thought I'd see strange fruit on a New York City tree. In 2020, black bodies still swing. Dominique Alexander, we lost you, Black King. An intelligent mind his killer didn't want to see. Cloisters passed. On June 9th, he was found. His lifeless body hanging was taken down and not drowned, because it took 66 minutes for the men in blue to say he did it to himself. They chose to disregard the idea that it could have been someone else. I say chose because it would not have been the same for an ivory body. Ivory would have gotten news, press, and I wouldn't have to be out here telling you all about it. Dama was 27 years old and a bright young man. Developed a movie app for all of his friends. Who knew his last trip to the heights he'd meet a killer with killer hands? And police are looking past it as if killer was one of their own men. They count to do oppressor when they find all of these nooses. But when a black body is placed, they politic it and abuse it. Only an empty noose can make it to the news, man. Killer running loose like a cat in the blues, man. You say Damo did it to himself. Why? Because killer could look like you. We want truth and justice, not a comfortable excuse. They don't care. And that set off my views, because this is our backyard. This ain't no time for a truce. Petitions coming soon, so don't look so amused. White guilt is not in your job description. And if you act like it is, you'll be reported and written. Dominique Alexander's story will not go unheard. I hope that you all listening will start to spread the word. Maybe even Killer Man will hear from the little bird. He's out and free now, but justice will be served. Please, please. The family has no answer. A black man lynched. Modern day lynching in New York City. 2020 is unreal. Wake up. Wake up.
Alright, so we're gonna make our way to the train station. That'll be the last one, so then we can all get a little warmer. Then we can all get lunch.
Midtown Manhattan. We've come here to tell you about Dominique Alexander. Dominique Alexander was a 27-year-old black man found hanging from a tree in New York City. After 66 minutes, the police deemed it a suicide, and the family does not believe that this is true. Right now, we're looking for community. We're looking for people who care. Take a flyer, learn about how to stay involved.
What did you just say?
It's okay. Remember, we're not looking for them. We're not looking for him. He's not somebody we're looking for. Keep going. Keep going. I'm crossing the street. Can y'all follow?
I know. That was Jeff.
I gotta pick and choose now, you know.
If you don't think racism and hatred is rampant throughout, even with this group holding this, creating awareness, you have to have someone walking by using the N-word. And it's not as if the group is even interacting with them.
June 9th, 2020. Dominique Alexander, 27-year-old black man, was found hanging from a tree in Washington Heights. A black man was found hanging from a tree in Washington Heights, and nothing was done for him. No justice has been served. No one knows who did this. Murdered, and someone might have passed it off as a suicide.
It's good. Don't even worry about it.
The 181st station on the left line is closed until December 2021 because of elevator replacement. A service to 181st take the A2 to the nearby 181st station or use the F3 bus. Atención a todos. La estación de la calle 181 en la línea cerrada hasta diciembre de 2021 debido al reemplazo del valor. Para el servicio a la calle 181, tome el tren A hasta la cercana estación de la calle 181 o use el autobús F3.
Actually, cool. On June 9th of 2020, Dominique Alexander was found hanging, lynched from a tree. In New York. One of three that took place within the same week around the country. Basically, they're building awareness surrounding his murder and the fact that there's been no resolution to that since.
But thank you all so much for coming. It's real crazy to experience talking about Black human beings come from a tree and being called a nigger in the midst of it. That's what this happened to us today. And I think that the important part is remembering that even if only less 5 to 6 people heard, I do think that makes a huge difference. That it sounds really, but I've seen it making me think happen. So thank you all for every moment that you passed out something. Take care of yourselves because over and over, especially for people of color, is really painful. Thank you for those who come out and really understand, really stay with us. See you as community. And we're still working on what it means to put security into the park down in Queens. And so we ask that you be part of that discussion and figuring that out because there's a lot of critical thinking needed and you need a lot of brains at the table. Yeah, I think that's it. I thank you all so much again. Thank you. She's still gonna say stuff though. I just was giving y'all my active. We're waiting for the train so we can get more people. I think a few are coming. One coming in 2 minutes. So we'll start in 2 minutes, y'all. But conversations can still happen right now.
Okay, I want to thank you guys for tuning in.
Man was found hanging from a tree.
As an added bonus to this news story is the fact that there's actually a lawsuit regarding anti-choice protesters that just came across my radar earlier today.
Never thought I'd see strange fruit on a New York City tree. In 2020, black bodies still scream. Dominique Alexander, we call him Black King. An intelligent mind, his killer didn't want to see. Voices back on June 9th, he was found. His lifeless body hanging was taken down. And I found that it took 66 minutes for the men in blue to take minutes of himself. They chose to disregard the idea that it could be someone else. I say chose, because it would not be the same for an Irish body. Ivory would have gotten news, press, and I wouldn't have to be out here telling you all about it. Dama was 27 years old, bright young man, developed the movie after all of his friends. Who knew his last trip to the Heights he'd meet a killer with killer hands? For those walking by, a black man by the name of Dominique Alexander was found hanging from a tree, lynched. A modern-day lynching in New York City, 2020. Police did absolutely nothing for his family. There are still no answers and too many questions. There are still killers and white supremacists running loose, and black kids being pepper sprayed and locked in the back of cars, and nobody cares. Black children crying out for their fathers being handcuffed and pepper sprayed, and nobody cares. A black man is now hanging from a tree, and nobody cares. So if you care, I'm talking to you. They doubted to oppress us when they was finding all of these nuisance. But when they find a black body in place, they politic it and abuse it. Killer running loose, the lack of care can be the blues. You say that I was sitting for himself. Why? If killers that look like you, we want truth and justice, not a fucking excuse. They don't care that set up rock views, cause this is our backyard, this ain't no time for a truce. Petitions coming soon, so don't look so amused. White guilt is not in your job description, and if you act like it is, you'll be recorded and read. Dominique Alexander's story will not go unheard. I hope that you all listening will start to spread the word. Don't wait until it's your brother, till it's your best friend. A black man was found hanging from a tree. This is not normal. This is coming weeks after George Floyd. Weeks after multiple black people were found hanging from trees across the country. Wake up! They need you to suicide in 66 minutes. One black man is going to come to all the way to where he doesn't even live to hang himself from a Washington Heights Park tree. Family does not believe it was a suicide. That alone should have been enough for the police to care, to find out what happened to Dominique Alexander. Please spread the word. Talk to your friends about it. All of that drip that you buy isn't going to mean anything when they do the same to you. Say his name. Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
How was he found?
From a tree.
When was he found?
June 9th.
2020. Where was he found? By trial and court. Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
Say his name.
Dominique Alexander.
Thank you all so much. Those of you who just became new community, please contact us on Instagram. If we're not on Instagram, understand you for a couple seconds. We can talk about the numbers and contact each other. You can also follow us. You can also send me an email at teamjusticefordomo@gmail.com. Thank you all. Thank you, community. Yes.
So it's definitely a powerful thing, creating awareness. You're never going to reach everyone, but if it starts the conversation going, it will spread. It becomes a part of the dialogue. People become more aware, and that's the beginnings of planting the seeds to actually bring about change and justice out there. So Thank you for tuning in. Solidarity forever. I'll see you guys later online. As always, if you can, please donate. There's a link in the description, either $1 or $3 monthly or a one-time donation. Again, Solidarity forever. See you guys out there on the front lines.